Did I say I win overtime? That's surprising, actually. Oh yeah, you beat a lot of mages, so makes sense.
There must be more to this.
Bolt from learn from bolting from constants. Right. Okay. Yeah, I know what that is. You once a move has like 3 dots next to it, it means if you actually have with someone that's the same class, they have a chance of learning that move.
It has been a long, long battle. My race wavers at the brink of extinction. And so it falls upon me to reclaim this world, that what was stolen from my people might be theirs once more. Which is why I was born. Yes, I created you. The cycle of the world, the rehousing of souls, how desperately I sought this secret art. But it demanded precision. One defect, one essence wrongly transplanted, would lead to consequences most irreparable. I knew I must oversee the process myself in order to save my beloved people. When my consciousness first initialized, I was nothing. I remember the sound of water, of bubbles, the sound of a massive object slowly lurching along. I thought the noise would continue for eternity, but then, a change. Something gave way. The water began rushing rapidly. Pale shadows closed in around me. Amidst deafening sounds, I walked desperately in search of light. That was an unforeseen accident. I was sure all had been lost to the waters. It was fortunate I had created you, for you proved useful in a way I never expected. I am to become you. That's why I'm here. That's why I've been compelled to remove any obstacle in your way. Only by destroying the abomination inside the Ashen Demon can we bring salvation to the world. So you understand. Then return that body you two share to me. It pains me to do this to you, but alas, all was written from the beginning.
Alright! Okay, we got through our chapter pretty fast.
Azure Gleam into the Chasm.
Where am I?
Let's hold off on the weapons for now, okay? Probably best you don't move at all, actually.
Huh? What are you doing here, Claude? Glad to see you're okay, at least.
Not sure okay is the word I'd go with. Dimitri and I got sucked into some weird magic vortex.
One of your making, I can only presume.
When we came to, we were sprawled on the ground here. Charming place, if you ask me.
I take it you don't remember what happened. You changed, attempted to strike at us. We were thankfully able to subdue you, at least temporarily. But you came to and fled not long after. You were, by all accounts, a different person entirely.
I guess that kinda rings a bell. The last thing I remember is Arval telling me to slay the Ashen Demon. At least, I think it was Arval.
You're like, who?
The voice in my head. We've known each other for a few years now.
Claude's like, she's crazy! Stop her!
Pretty out there, right? This is why I never mentioned it.
And you claim this Arval suddenly decided to turn on you.
I know how it sounds, but yeah. There are two things I can say for sure. The first is that Arval's magic is what dragged us all in here. And the second is that there's no one in my head anymore.
What? How can you be sure?
Because I don't feel them. At least not in my mind. Arval's somewhere else now. Somewhere distant.
Well, that's vague. How are we supposed to make heads or tails of any of this?
At the very least, I believe your account well enough to say you are no longer a threat to us.
Right. We can save all that metaphysics stuff for some other time. Anyhow, you wouldn't happen to know a way out of this dark, void place, would you?
About that, I know I said distant, but Arval's definitely here with us somewhere. If we can find them and figure out what magic they used on us, we might just be able to escape.
You sure are optimistic for someone who's surrounded by horrible nothingness.
It isn't as though we have any alternatives. We should take a look around. Perhaps we can learn more about this place in the process.
Dimitri? Where are you going?
So you were dragged in here as well, Edelgard. Are you all right?
What are you doing here? Where am I?
We aren't sure ourselves. But we have no intention of fighting. Know that.
Speak for yourself!
We? Who else is here with you?
Why'd you run off like that, Dimitri? Did you notice something? Wait, Edelgard?
It seems much has transpired without my knowledge.
Yeah, I don't think any of us really know what's going on here. By the way, Edelgard, you look pretty different from the last time I saw you. Did something happen to you?
The last time? When was that? It seems I have a fair number of gaps in my memory. The most recent thing I can remember is Aryan Road. You and I were squaring off, Dimitri, when Talus appeared and cast some dark magic on me.
That was over 6 moons ago. If Viscount Fenya's word is anything to go by, you've been serving as Duke Ayer's puppet ever since. Not only that, Duke Ayer himself was under the nefarious control of Talus.
6 months. And tell me, what of the Empire? I can't believe I have to direct such a question to you two, of all people.
Adrestia changed big time after the battle at Aryan Road against the Kingdom. Your lands have been ravaged, your military has lost all discipline, and Lester and Fargus have since joined hands to put an end to the Empire's brutality. You're actually catching us right in the middle of the climactic fight.
After we routed the Imperial army in the Valley of Torment, you fled, escaping with Duke Ayer. Once we put an end to him, we turned our gaze toward finding you. We're caught up in some bizarre magic which brought us here.
That was all rather painful to hear, but I thank you for the explanation. I'm not sure how exactly Talus is manipulating me, but he is clearly doing so to steer the Empire toward his own desires. In the past, he took over the body of my uncle, Lord Arundel, and snatched the reins of Adrestia as its regent. Meaning history is repeating itself in the grandest, most vile way.
So it's true then. Lord Arundel was actually Talus.
You've got to help us get out of here, Edelgard.
I would be glad to, once you inform me further about the current state of Focum. I've been, in essence, asleep the last half a year, remember?
Yes. I suppose we can afford a short break to bring you up to speed before we resume our search.
Alright. Zaharas. Temporarily parted with everyone but Dimitri. No sign of exit, wonder if the others have found anything. Oh, right! I'm about to play as these two. What level are they right now? Like, they're level 1. I don't know, should I be leveling them up? But this thing, I sense some kind of weird power coming from it. That could possibly be our escape. We need to take advantage of anything at our disposal. Right, training structures, level up. I don't know if this is necessary, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Because if I'm gonna play as them, I don't want them to have like low levels, you know? Claude, how about you? Yeah, give you 3 level ups. No magics, 3 strength, I'll take it. Okay, I think everything else is fine. We need to give them battalion and stuff. You have charm rings, you have that axe. Yeah, keep that axe. Crusher, hold on. Unstoppable and overwhelmed. What is that? Restore warriors awakening gauge when enemy commander is defeated. Okay. What's unstoppable? Restore warriors engage when enemy. Hold on. What's overwhelmed? Greatly increase the amount of damage enemy stun gauge. Right, keep that one. What do I want for you right here? I'm not gonna give you anything too crazy, but you know, fear strengthening seems good. Good against tomes, yeah, give you that one. Raging Storm and War Strike. Armor Helm Splitter, Flickering Flower seems good. Yeah, give me Flickering Flower. Alright. Claude, how about you? Fear Strengthening, yeah, that's your bow. Give me Boost Critical on you. Okay, good against swords. You know what? Sure, that works. Wind God and Drill Arrow. Give me a Ward Arrow for you. Oh, I forgot to set abilities, didn't I? Yeah. What is... That's Cloud Imbue attack which wind. Yeah, that's fine. Greatly increase awakening gauge fuel when attacking enemy launch into the air. That's pretty good. Commander defeated. Okay. Moderately extend the time before hit counter expires. Grant additional vulnerability to Vibrant Master and Barbarossa class action. Give me that. Yeah, we don't need that. Increase damage dealt to enemy proportion to the number of allied strongholds. Yeah, that's not going to be helpful on this fight. Restore the endurance of the enemy commander defeated. Alright. What about you? What do you have? World Abandoned, Defensive Wrath, which means 50 below, Season Tactics. Stormer of the Land, reduces damage taken from the enemy proportional to how much lower the character charm is. I don't know. Yeah, give me that one. Why not? Alright, now we're ready. To be honest, I find it hard to believe any of your claims. Now that I can do much about it. I don't have any idea where we are. Consider her feelings, I guess. I get it, you don't have to do anything you don't want to, but could really help if you could lend us a hand. It's not a problem. I'm used to my life being subject to someone else's will anyway. Seems like Dimitri and Claude in the middle of some kind of discussion.
What do you hope to accomplish once this war is over, Claude?
Why? Where'd I have some nasty plot up my sleeve? Well, I don't. Although I doubt you're gonna like what I do have planned. I'm just gonna come out and say it. After the war, I'm going to abolish the Central Church and depose the Archbishop. The people of Fodlan have been shackled by this decrepit system for too long, and I'm ending it.
You're going to do away with the church?
That's right. Think about it. Who steals your freedom and gives you an endless list of duties and obligations simply because you have a crest? Who forces you and your friends into a bunch of unwanted marriages and positions of power? The church even forbids any official contact with outside regions. Not exactly great for Fargus, right? Being as close to Serang and Albania as you are.
But
Where's Albania?
your issue is with the church, yes?
Where's Albania?
Not with Fargus itself.
Exactly. We have nothing to gain by fighting you. And really, our enemy isn't the actual church so much as the people at the top who make all the decisions.
I understand where you're coming from, Claude. And on a personal level, I actually agree with you.
But as a king, you're opposed.
Yes, for 3 reasons. First, abolishing the church would deny the king's right to rule Fargus. Without one, the people will descend into chaos and war. Would you be able to take responsibility for such a thing once it came to pass? Second, recklessly discarding the church will only incite discord among the clergy and its supporters. And finally, a revolution of this nature will not only mean casualties among the common folk, but will endanger your own life as well.
Leaving the first two for a second, I have some serious issues with that last one. I'm glad you're concerned for my safety, but I can take care of myself.
But don't you see? The people you wish to depose are human, just as you are. No matter what ingenious scheme you come up with, or how careful you try to be, they will suffer. And their vengeance will eventually find you, no matter how hard you try to stave it off. I know full well the guilt that accompanies such actions, and the retribution they provoke.
Everyone has to deal with the consequences of their decisions. If you let it rule you, Fodlan never changes. And if it doesn't change, it'll just fall apart.
But not taking the time to look where you're going will only lead you to stumble and fall. If there are those who would be hurt by this, I consider it my duty to help them.
There you go, trying to save everyone again. You really are too good for me.
To be honest, I'm jealous of how you're not burdened with the same restrictions.
In the world I'm trying to create, you wouldn't be burdened by them either. You could even... No, forget that. I'm serious about what I said, though. And I really do admire how you want to save everyone. Honestly, if you weren't a king, I think we could have been friends.
I feel much the same. Had I joined with you, I might have been able to see a different vision of Fodlan. Oh boy.
We're gonna be stuck here for the rest of our lives, aren't we? There's no way I could have seen this coming. I would actually prepare for it if I had. Ask you, how would you prepare? How would you have done? Cook up another scheme? Why don't you jump into that conclusion? Nice to know you have such faith in me. Don't just worry about my friends or doing after my little disciplining act. On the bright side, I'm traveling the most of the stubborn people on the planet. I'm sure we can get through this. We work together. I wonder what Dimitri and Edgards are talking about.
Enough with the searching glances, Dimitri. Say what you're going to say.
I was just thinking that I find it difficult to speak with you. Even now that we have the opportunity to exchange words peaceably. Too many have died for us to suddenly have meaningful heart-to-heart conversation.
Oh, that's not how I feel. Unless you mean you don't wish to speak with the tyrant you consider responsible for their deaths. In which case, let's just believe what we believe, accept that our paths have diverged, and see this through to the very end.
You're placing words in my mouth. Still, I suppose that does cut to the heart of the matter. I will not claim that all my choices were right, but I accept responsibility for them. I made them carefully and with full knowledge of the consequences.
And I'd like to think I can say the same. But this is unproductive. We need to get out of here.
Fair enough. But first, answer me this. Do you know what became of your mother and Selma?
Why would I?
Someone told me that you would know how she met her end. Although I suspect that was nothing more than the dying ravings of a madwoman.
It was. I haven't seen my mother since I was a child. It would have been right before she was exiled. You would know what happened better than I.
I suppose so. Regardless, thank you for answering. Now, shall we get back to finding our way out?
Please, we can't resolve anything so long as we're trapped in this. Ah!
That was quite the tremor.
Whatever this place is, I find myself liking it less by the moment.
Don't say!
Can you stand?
Yes, thank...
Perhaps we can put our differences aside, if only for the moment. Hostilities will do us no good here.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I can agree to that. You know, I just remembered something from back when I was but a child. I had fallen to the ground and was met with a kind hand reaching out to help me up. I took it without thinking, without even looking first to see who it was. I suppose that shows you how much I've grown. Dimitri, what is it?
I have a similar memory. One of helping a little girl who had fallen in the dirt.
Knowing you, such occurrences would have been commonplace in your youth. Don't try to imply we share a memory.
No, I rarely forget an important face. Often to my own woe, I might add.
Enough. Let us end this before we both make greater fools of ourselves. We need to escape. That's our only priority. Not that the world outside will be any kinder to me than the one in here.
Edelgard,
What are you doing? You should know I won't hesitate to leave you behind.
Indeed. I'm coming.